Hey, what's up everyone, welcome back to Zevox. So Season 4 released literally a few hours ago from when I'm making this video. And I've been playing with this new Fennec gun quite a bit. I've been playing around with it, sort of playing around with different attachments. And my goal was to find the very best setup for this gun. The very best class setup for Warzone specifically. So today I'm just going to take you guys quickly through each attachment you should put on this gun, your secondary, your perks and everything. So ignore all of this, this is all default. We're literally going to make the class right now. So here we have it, the Fennec. If you don't know, this is a tier 15 gun in the new Season 4 battle pass. So that's how you get the gun, you got to get to tier 15. So in terms of attachments, which is what we're going to start off with, which will be the main sort of purpose of this video in general. Now, as I said, this will mainly be about the best Warzone loadout, but these attachments really apply to multiplayer as well. It all depends on how you want to play. I guess it's all a little bit subjective, but here's what personally works for me. So the barrel that we're going to go with is this one here, the ZLR18 Deadfall. Now this acts as a suppressor as well. It hides your little red dot on the minimap, so you're not going to show up on the minimap if you shoot this, so you don't need a suppressor. But then the other thing that this does, as you can see, is it increases your damage range quite a bit, which will be very useful for this gun. It increases your range, your recoil control and your bullet velocity, which is all very useful. So one thing about this gun is that this is more of a close range weapon. From the time I spent playing around with this gun, I'd say this gun wouldn't work very well at sort of mid to long range distances. It really is more of a close range weapon. However, that extra range as well as recoil control will be very useful anyway. Now, another thing about this gun which I forgot to mention is the fire rate, which obviously is insane. At close ranges it shreds through your enemies super fast. So that brings me to the ammunition, which is quite important for this gun. So the default mag is actually only 24 or 25 round mags, I believe, which with this gun's fire rate, that literally takes about 2 seconds to empty out. So our two options here are a 12 round mag, which will increase your damage a bit, but I really wouldn't recommend this, especially for Warzone, just because you're gonna, 12 rounds, even though the damage is a little bit better, you're gonna be constantly reloading your weapon. It's not worth it. So 40 round mags is pretty much a necessity for this one. And the underbarrel that I'd go with is the Commando foregrip. I pretty much always go with this for any sort of assault rifle or SMG. It's definitely worth it for the recoil and aiming stability. And to be honest, the movement speed is almost, negligible. Like, it barely does anything. Even though your movement speed will be a little bit lower, it's not exactly going to be a deal breaker. So definitely go with Commando foregrip for this one. So now we're going to go over to stock, and the stock I went with personally is the Forge TAC CQS. And the main reason for that is that the aim down sight speed will be quite useful, because as you saw with the barrel, the aim down sight speed went down by quite a bit. And when you're playing with a sort of close range SMG setup, you definitely don't want to sacrifice too much aim down sight speed, since even a few milliseconds could be the difference between killing your enemy or getting killed. So the aim down sight speed will be very useful, and for that reason we're going to go with the Forge TAC CQS. And finally, for the rear grip, and for the same exact reason, we're going to go with the stippled grip tape. Again, it's all about the aim down sight speed, and the sprint to fire speed is quite a nice bonus as well, because as I said, close range weapon, that will help with these sorts of encounters. So there you have it, there's your setup, there's your 5 perks, there's your 5 attachments: the ZLR18 Deadfall, Forge TAC CQS, stippled grip tape, 40 round mags and Commando foregrip. Overall, what we've done here is we've improved on a very good weapon already. This weapon has an insane fire rate. I believe it's the best fire rate of any weapon in this game. but we've improved its range quite drastically, its accuracy as well as its control, and we've only sacrificed a little bit of mobility. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the secondary. Now again, this is a Warzone setup, so if you're looking to play, to use this for multiplayer, then this is basically all you need, these 5 attachments. But if you're looking for, a full Warzone loadout, we're going to skip the secondary for just a second and go over to our perks. Cold-Blooded is pretty much by far the most useful perk from this category, from the perk 1 category for Warzone. So go with Cold-Blooded for that. Perk 3, we're going to go with Tracker, just because those footsteps can be very, very useful for tracking down your enemies. But perk 2 is sort of the only one that might be a little bit subjective. You could go with Overkill and get 2, very good custom primary guns straight away. Or you could go for Ghost, and obviously Ghost is by far probably the most useful perk in Warzone, just because it does hide you from those heartbeat sensors that everyone uses nowadays, as well as UAVs. So personally, I'd go with Ghost. And then in terms of, your secondary weapon, you're going to be sacrificing a custom secondary weapon, but because the Fennec is such a close range sort of focused weapon, you are going to need a decent secondary, either a sniper or an LMG, something of that sort. So for now we're going to go with a RPG launcher, but I wouldn't recommend keeping this throughout the whole game, just because if you've got enemies a bit further away that you need to kill, this gun isn't really going to do that. This gun is more for close range. With the attachments we've put on it, it might be able to do well at mid-range distances, but it's still mostly a close range focused weapon. So you'll definitely need to find a decent sniper early in the game to replace this RPG with, in my opinion. Or you can keep the RPG and be that guy from your squad that just destroys all the cars as well. But yeah, that's pretty much the majority of our class setup here done. Now obviously with the tactical, we're going to go for a heartbeat scanner. That's a no-brainer for Warzone. And then for the lethal, this one is very subjective and it really depends on how you want to play. I typically go with claymores just in case I want to sort of set up like a little mini camping base in a house somewhere. Alternatively, I might go for thermite, but yeah, that's very subjective and depends on how you want to play personally. So that will be our class setup for Warzone. Yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a little bit of gameplay of me using this class setup, but that will be it for my commentary here. So give this setup a go, let me know if it works for you. If you found this video helpful, obviously leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I've got more guides like this on my channel, so be sure to check those out. And I'll see you in my next video.